Hello, everyone. Greetings, Nova Scotia. Hey, Banks. Oh, Christian Delorme. Hello, Christian. I'm kicking off my shoes, guys. I'm getting ready. I got the thumbs up from the audio team. Just kidding. It's my husband being my audio team. Juad, Jesus Gonzalez. Oh my gosh, you guys, the cool people are here already. We can get started. Who else do we need? You guys are all here. Jesus, hello. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well on your end. Juad, thank you so much for joining. We had a mega troll last week in the chat, or 2 weeks ago. So Juad, keep your eye out because you're one of the mods, and I hope that I hope this troll doesn't show up. Don't block him because we kind of had fun interacting with him. But yeah, so just keep the troll alive, feed him a little bit, give him a good smackdown if you can. Tamajit, you're here as well. Hello, Tamajit. And thanks for telling me the audio and video are great. That's awesome. I checked that I have all 5 green bars. So yes, you're right, Christian. We are missing Faye Knox. So hello, John Lewis. So the chat isn't running through on the side there. I hope you guys are all okay with that because I got a couple comments in the videos that it was super annoying to see the chat go by, but then some people like it. So anyways, who knows if I'm doing the right thing anymore. But anyways, tonight we are going to be looking at the evolution of the propaganda. So the new shape it's taking, which is going to be quite interesting, and I'll tell you what to expect. And what else do I have? Hold on, I took notes here, guys. I didn't want to miss a beat here. Yes, we're going to talk about all of the contradictions and why they want you confused. And by they, I mean the governments of the new world. So they are going to make sure that you're confused. You've probably already all figured that out by now, because the messages keep changing and it's actually kind of a joke at this point. It's so bad that I don't understand how anybody with like IQ higher than a room temperature could actually not see this. It just boggles my mind. But the contradictions are so frequent and so close together that, anyways, we're going to cover a bunch of those tonight. It's going to be super entertaining because I kind of have a chuckle at all the things that I see. And it's any government in the world at this point, all in this together. They're all trying to fool us. They're all trying to lie to us, and they all think we're dumb and that we can't see it coming. So we can see it, but I just don't know how much power we have to stop it. So this is why I keep holding out, right? I just hold out for everything. They want you to do something, hold out on it. And hold out as long as you can. They'd say this variant, okay, hold out as long as you can. It should be the hashtag here. Hashtag hold out. Hello, Los Angeles. Yeah, how are things down there? I don't think it's going super well for you guys in LA. But yeah, like Binks is saying here, I'm gonna show you what Binks is saying here. Ontario, which is where I am, they're going directly to the students. And yeah, you're right, they're ignoring parental rights. So we already had glimpse of that when they were doing the whole abortion thing. So you could technically be in school and get the morning after pill or even get an abortion without your parents knowing. And that was the precursor to this. So basically they're putting in the kids' hands all of the medical decisions. Same thing for transgender now. The transgender kid has a right to decide what gender he is at the age of 5. And the parents have no right to say, well, let's wait and see what happens. So this is a very, very dangerous game that we're playing. Now, in my opinion, the last frontier is in all of this really is our body. So right now, until now, the best they could do is spy on us. So look at us, figure out where we are, what we're doing, what we're predicting, what we might be doing in a couple of months based on our past behavior. But they were not able to get into our bodies. And this is where it's slightly changing. And this is why I think a lot of people are concerned. And that is the absolute last frontier. Once they have that, guys, we're all done for. It's going to be a global dictatorship at that point. So Christian is telling me Faye's on her way. Well, we can't wait for her to get here. I hope she's going to get here really quickly. East Coast Canadian, welcome. I'm glad you joined. You were on the last one too, but yes, there's more. There's a lot of your people are on this stream too. So yeah, we share, we share because we care, right? East Coast Canadian. Okay. Oh, look who's here. Hello, Faye. We were waiting for you. Now Faye's here, guys. We can get started. Okay. So Faye, we're talking about the contradictions today because apparently our global leaders think we're all idiots and we can't come up with with our own opinions and stuff like that. So, okay, we're going to start the very classic one. I don't even have to show you any articles on that, but the very classic contradiction, which is like the meme of all contradictions, is the mask, right? So how they said it, the first started the propaganda. No, we don't want anybody to wear masks. It's not useful. It's going to be it's going to be counter-effective. So that was what they originally said. Then, of course, they switched over and said, no, masks are mandatory now. My personal theory, what I think is the mask is a constant reminder that you're in a pandemic. So it's like the visual element. It's the marketing element, omnipresent marketing element of the pandemic. So anyways, so yeah, that is, I'm just reading the comment. This is hilarious. Like I have I don't know if I should do the overlay. Like, this is what the overlay looks like, guys. And some people love it and some people hate it. I don't know if it's going to kick in yet. Hold on, guys. Let's see if it's going to kick in. I don't know if I can do this when I'm already live. But anyways, it just shows, oh, there we go. See? The comments show up on the side. I kind of prefer that. I don't know. I did it. I already did press 1, press 2 if you want it or not. But so I know most people want it. So maybe I'll leave it on today because then you can kind of see what I'm chuckling away at when one of the comments will catch my eye and I laugh for no reason. It's not because I'm losing my mind. It's because somebody would have said something funny or something. So anyways, okay. So we had the mask situation. Now, then they said, okay, we can ease the mask restrictions. So I think that was even in LA. And we have somebody from LA in the chat here. So I think that one, there was even oh, no, you don't need masks anymore. We're good now. We're good. And then seriously, 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, no, guys, slap on the mask again. So again, it's all about, you never know what to do. And I'll explain at the end of the stream why they're trying to get you confused, why they're throwing, and this is it's not a mistake that they're doing this. This is on purpose, that they're throwing all of these different ideas out there within weeks of each other because they want to make sure that you're confused. So I'll explain why at the end. So you got to stick around. Haha, see? Cliffhanger. Okay. Francine Prou, bonjour. Okay, William, I don't know if I said hi to you, and Point Fire, you guys are always here. So thanks for joining, guys. And Deborah, hello, Deborah. Okay, so other things in the mask. Remember Canada at the start of this is January 2020. Canada, Theresa Tam, I'm going to show you this one. Actually, I have this one ready. But they did the whole risk to Canada is low. Remember this? So hold on, here we go. Remember this, guys? This is a tweet from her, February 4th. It was risk to Canada is low. So the risk remains low in Canada, even if cases have been reported here. So remember that whole thing? And I remember watching back in those days, I was watching all of those panels that they would go live on YouTube and do all these panels with Theresa Tam and a bunch of other people. And they used to always say, the risk is low, you know, you don't have to worry, the risk is really low. And so then it would be like, it's almost like it was tattooed in my brain. The risk is low to Canadians. But I mean, some of us who have been following this, we knew even by February that there might be a problem if we don't close down the flights, right? So it's funny because I just think, okay, some kind of a weird disease is propagating in China, yet we don't close the flights from China. That's anyways. And now it's the fault of the unvaccinated. All of this is the fault. We're going to get to that. So, So yes, so the risk to Canadians remain low, and yet boom, March 2020, close everything. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Now, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, that was another goalpost moving, right? So it was first 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and that literally became 16 months to flatten the curve. They had the same thing in Montreal, Quebec, where they did all of the what do you call it? See, I'm losing my mind already. Oh, I need to sleep more. All of this stress, it's getting to me. But they did the, where you can't leave your house after 8. What are those called? Curfews. Curfew. I should have known because I had a curfew when I was growing up. Can't believe I forgot that one. All my screens are not clear. Uh-oh. What do you mean by that? Hold on. Maybe if I take the chat off? Francine is saying that the screen, yeah, curfews, Anna, thank you. The screens are not clear. Let me know if you guys can see properly or not. But yeah, the curfews in Montreal. So that was fun for our Montreal citizens who all got to stay in curfew, couldn't even leave their house after a certain hour. So they were all basically teenagers again in Montreal, being told by Daddy Trudeau that they couldn't get out of the house after 8. So that was fun. Political foolishness. Hello. Frank Vaughn. Hello. Hello, sir. I'm glad you're here. Hope everything's good on your end, Frank. Okay, I guess nobody's doing well. if you're red-pilled in this environment, none of us are doing well. But anyways, okay. So we had all of the goalposts moving and all that. So do you remember also when Trump was talking about developing the vaccine? Kamala Harris was asked in an interview if she was going to get the vaccine if Trump made it available. And she was like, no, no, we like, takes a long time to develop these vaccines. Like, we can't just throw something together like that. Operation Warp Speed is dangerous. And literally 2 months later, Biden is in power, and she's all of a sudden, she's cool with the vaccine. So again, another contradiction. That one was clearly probably the most obviously politically motivated one. A bunch of people in the States were like, we're not taking the vaccine if Trump makes it. But then same companies were developing the vaccines. And then when Biden was there, they take it, no problem. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand. Half the time, when I see what's going on and I see my direct neighbors, I actually think I'm going crazy because I feel so alone. I don't know if you guys feel like this where you are, but if you're surrounded by people in real life, and I don't mean that you guys are not real life. I just mean when you actually go out of your house and you meet people in person, if you feel just alone because people are so brainwashed that they actually assume I'm vaccinated. They don't even ask anymore. It's just, oh yeah, she must be vaccinated. There's no doubt. Everybody's vaccinated by now. This shots have been available, so everybody. It's just amazing to me that this is where we're at. There is no dissenting views. Nobody's saying anything else. I have only a handful of people that I can interact with face to face that I know they are red-pilled and they understand what's going on and all of that. So anyways, but yeah, so it's the strangest feeling. And with all of this, I just don't recognize Canada anymore. It's the strangest feeling because while we're going through a pandemic, we're going through a massive transformation. And I feel like we're at the end of it, it's not going to be us that are going to be the winners. It's going to be the global citizens. So the people who are meant to come to Canada in 2 or 3 years. So anyways, okay. So yeah, we had the Canada risk is low spiel, song and dance for a long time. And then boom, we had, yeah, it's here. We had the Trump vaccine is a no, but the Biden vaccine is a yes. Now, remember when they started talking about vaccine passports, and it actually wasn't them. It wasn't the globalist agenda that was talking about vaccine passport. It was a couple of whistleblowers, like alarm sounders. I was one of them. A bunch of people have been mentioning it. I think East Coast Canadian actually even warned about this way, way before. I'm pretty sure, Frank, you've talked about that in your streams. But they had people were warning about this vaccine passport, the dangers of it. And back then I got banned off of YouTube, not banned, I got a 1 week strike for that video I did on the vaccine passports. And it was a prediction, like if we do this, this is going to go super wrong. And the reaction from the media, from the politicians was, vaccine passport, look at these tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists from the far right extremism happening out there. Like, this is never going to happen for reals. That's kind of the reaction that they had. And yet, look at us today, where we are actually developing worldwide vaccine passports. So it started with no vaccine passport. Now, yes. Do you remember the isolation camps? I'm going to show you this one here. So here's another one I've got here. So PM health officials warned Canadians against believing COVID-19 internment camps disinformation. So you remember this? This was in October 2020. I've covered this article before in a previous stream. And here we have February 2021. Hotel quarantine measures for air travelers come into effect February 22nd. So that took 4 months from them calling me, anybody who said there's a real danger that they could take people and lock them up in a hotel or a camp or a tent camp or a FEMA camp, whatever. Like, nobody has a prediction, like a glass ball that we can tell exactly what's going to happen. We kind of have a general idea because it's been done before. So we had a general idea. Internment camps of some sort are coming. And boom, 4 months later, quarantine hotels. So just because you call it a hotel quarantine, and actually that sounds to me like the title of a horror movie, to be quite honest, hotel quarantine. But maybe somebody should make a movie about that. But in hotel quarantine, just because the word hotel is there, this was also an element of propaganda. I bet you that the government had some kind of a meeting, the Canadian government, and they said, look, if we put them in a hotel, if they're going to think it like hotel is like a vacation or like a travel, like business trip. It's not associated with anything bad. So let's use these hotels to do that. And that's why it passed, and it had relatively little pushback in Canadian society at large. So the typical people pushed back on it, but overall Canadians were like, oh, okay, like they're more upset about having to pay $2,000 than the idea that you are now, as a citizen returning to your own country, put up in a prison for whatever it was, 2 weeks, 3 days to 2 weeks. You're put in a prison and that is it. But people were upset, oh, I have to pay $2,000. To me, yes, the $2,000 definitely sucks, absolutely. But the bigger problem, the more prominent problem, is now you have prison for citizens. So you are imprisoned without having broken any laws. That's third world country stuff. Like this, to see this in Canada is absolutely disconcerting and a disgrace to Canada. And let me go off on a tangent, actually, because I saw something today about Trudeau doing something with the Islamophobia, how he's planning on making sure he fights that, while the Christian churches are being set ablaze. But when Trudeau is doing this whole Islamophobia thing, so that means technically Canadians are a bunch of bigots, Islamophobes, right? Now through the pandemic, we had the Asian hate, right? With that whole Asian hate thing. We, of course, had all the BLM stuff, so clearly the Black hate. So if I understand this correctly, Canada is racist against Black people. It's systemically racist. So that means all of our institutions, all across the fabrics of our culture, we are making sure to be racist against Black people. And it's because we have white privilege. We are also racist against Asians. And I like how they lump the Asians together. Like a guy from China is the same as a guy from Vietnam or Cambodia, or like Asians. And sometimes they even lump in like the Indians with the Asians. It's so weird. So so you have that problem, and so now you have the Muslim victims who are just so mistreated in Canada across the board. So this is my question then. Why do people want to come here? Why do we have immigration coming in? Because people aren't applying to leave Canada. People are applying to get in from other countries. So why did they not get the message that we're super racist here? I don't get it. Why are people still trying to come here if all layers of our society and our institutions are bigoted that way? Anyways, it just shows you it's all a facade. It's all a joke. Anyways, that was my little tangent. Okay, so back to isolation camps. So we had, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist if you have isolation camp. If you think there's going to be isolation camps in Canada, and 4 months later, there are isolation camps in Canada. They're just called hotel quarantine. Okay, the next one is the mixed vaccines. So there was, let me see if I have that article. I do believe I have it. Here, mixing the vaccines. This is in Canada, CBC News here, posted June 23rd. Why mixing Pfizer and Moderna vaccines could help end the pandemic sooner. And soon after, July 12th, so this was what, 3-4 weeks? Not even, I don't even know. Not very many. The WHO cautions data still limited on mixing COVID vaccines. So there was a big thing on the WHO website saying, don't mix vaccines. But Canadian officials say it's okay. And that's because I think there was that whole procurement issue where people were promised a certain dose of a specific vaccine and then to be followed up with the next dose of the same vaccine, but then we couldn't get that same vaccine for the second dose. So Trudeau's like, yeah, just do it anyways. Give him the second dose of whatever else is available. So I think that that's why Canada's been doing it, despite not having any data on that. That was totally cool to do that in Canada. And now we're finding out that certain countries will put you in a 2-week quarantine if you've had a mix of 2 different vaccines. So in Canada, you're considered fully vaccinated, but now you're traveling somewhere else and you're all of a sudden not considered fully vaccinated, in the sense that you now have to quarantine 2 weeks on one end and maybe 1 week on the other, or take multiple tests or anything like that. So there's going to be, this is why there's big panic within the Trudeau government to try to negotiate this with other countries. I bet you there's going to be a lot of bribes, probably some blackmail going on, but all of a sudden you'll see some kind of a announcement saying it's okay, you can travel if you've had both vaccines. But again, this is to worry the people who've had the vaccine. They want to keep you confused. Now you don't know if you can travel. Should I travel? Should I not travel? What should I do? So it just keeps you in a permanent, it's almost like you're in you're being played on from a psychological perspective. Really, it's designed to wear you down. And so now you've been a good boy and a good girl, and you've gone and you've got both of your vaccines. You were told that you could travel, but now all of a sudden you're told maybe I can't travel because this country won't let me in if I have 2 different vaccines. So yeah. So this is what's happening. There's so many more contradictions. This is just a handful. I wanted to give you just an idea of the more glaring contradictions. I'm sure you guys have more ideas and more things that you've seen contradicted, and more to come. There's going to be the same level of confusion will be futurely applied to the boosters. So as we go into 2022, the booster shots will become this whole thing where it's like, okay, well, how many booster shots? Some companies will say 2, some companies will say 3. Canada will come out and say you should get 2, but then 2 weeks later they'll say you should get 4, and then maybe you should go back to getting 2 only. It's going to be insane. It's just, we know Trudeau has planned something for us until 2024. This is why he's trying to he's secured all these things, and he's trying to push this agenda even more severely. And the vaccine passports are unfortunately coming here as well. So UK, they did the same thing, level of confusion. They were like, no vaccine passports. And all of a sudden, Boris is like, yes, vaccine passport. And Macron in France, Macron said, oh, yeah, we're going to now require 2 jabs if you want to go to a restaurant, a bar, anywhere in public. So the French people who have already, they were taken over by the Nazis. Remember the late 30s or the early 40s, I think 41. The Nazis marched over and they're like, yeah, hey guys, we're going to take over your country now. And the French go, oh, okay. So I think the French have learned from that mistake and now they're not having it, the French people. I don't know if this is true, so don't attack me if this isn't true, but maybe somebody else in the chat has seen it and we can talk about it. But have you seen that Macron's house has been set on fire? Did you guys see that? I saw a TikTok about that. Hello, Gun Cotton. Endpoint Spy Patriot is here too. Yes. So Davids. Hello, Davids. I'm just gonna put yours up here, your comment up here, because this is a good comment. Because we can't travel far from our house, this is personal story. So personal story with Julie. We've been doing things with the kids to try to get them out of the house, right? So they've done homeschooling for almost a full year. And we found that they were getting kind of really crampy, like inside the house, and there were like too many screens and all that. So we were like, okay, guys, we're going to go outside. We're going to start going to the wilderness. Exactly. like David is saying, the wilderness. So we've started camping. So we go quite a few times in the summer, and every Saturday we go to a different park in the region that has campgrounds and all that. We don't always camp, but we definitely spend the day there, and it's been amazing. And when I go there, this is where my faith in humanity is somewhat restored, because I go to the beach, nobody's out there wearing a mask, nobody cares. It's like the pre-COVID world all over again. I feel more normal, and that's why I want to bring my kids there, because I want them to get used to this pre-COVID world. I don't want them to get used to the new world. I'm going to hang on as long as I can to what I knew, what it was growing up for me, the Canada that I know. So that's what I'm trying to go back to. So anyways, it's been very, very nice going out to the wilderness. We've been teaching the kids how to do all sorts of fun stuff, and it's been amazing. And yes, I think that every time I'm out there and I'm in the forest, I keep thinking, wow, this is my thought process when I'm in the forest, is to show you how intense this is in my brain. But I think, wow, when I have to flee my house because I'm being hunted down by either the government or the vaccine mob, I just hope it won't be -20 in the forest. That is what I'm thinking about. I'm like, I can handle the forest and everything, leave with a small bag and survive. But if it's -20 because it's February, I think we're screwed. So yeah, that's literally what my brain thinks about when I'm out in the forest. How sad is that? How sad is that? Because I see the country evolving into such a dictatorship that that's what I think. I literally think about everything. I've been doing all sorts of learning in the past year. Frank, if you're still here, you're going to love this part. I'm even ready for the eventuality that hospitals will just no longer be operational. And I've started to learn things like emergency bone setting in the wilderness, how to properly do a stitch, like a wound stitch, and how to have like the proper disinfectants and all that. So yeah, pretty crazy. That's where I think, and that's what I've been doing for about 2 years now, has been honing in my skills and trying to teach them to the kids. So anyways, okay, Linda's here. Oh, I'm so happy Linda's here. Hello, Linda. And Crit. Oh my gosh, Crit, you're here too. Geez, man. We have the whole gang is here tonight. And Saint Jean. Yes, Saint Jean. You know what we were talking about? This is what Saint Jean is telling me here. I'm going to show you if I can find it. Hold on. She said, hold on, let me just find it, guys. This one here. She says, get a family-sized RV. And so we were looking into getting a bus that you can convert to living space. So my husband is actually looking into those, and we're thinking, I don't know how much time we have, but we think we could renovate a bus in about a year. So yeah, it would be, yeah. And here's what Alex Jones says, and it's not the Alex Jones, it's another one. Hide survival bag and force for that day. That is a good idea. It's not a bad plan, actually. The only problem is the forests we've been going to are not walkable distance. So if I have to leave on foot, anyways. So yeah, heavy show tonight. I feel like I'm discouraging the whole world. Okay, so yes, what else do I have? Yes, we're going to talk about the newest propaganda trends. So it's almost like a fashion trend, but in the propaganda world. So I'm here to share those with you. And a lot of you have been in a lot of my other streams, so you've seen all of the propaganda that I've shown so far. This is just kind of the continuation to that. So now we're at the point where, pretty much everybody who wanted to get the jab have gotten it. So at this point, the message has already shifted towards the non-jabbed, the unclean people. Let's call them that. Yeah, Christian, blackpilling y'all. Let me see what Temajit is saying here. Have you seen videos, David Martin? Yes, everybody should look into that if you can. I have to be careful what I actually read out here for the AI, but yes, everybody should check into that. This is a really good one, Temajit. Thanks for sharing. But yes, I am blackpilling you one person at a time. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, don't get blackpilled. Honestly, this is what all crappy situations in the world, in history, have shown us. No matter how crappy it is, there is always good people somewhere. So right now, there's a lot of good people. They're just not speaking up, but they feel the same way. They're not doing anything because they feel trapped. But eventually, those people will be in a situation where they feel they have no other choice but to speak up. And at that point, they'll join us. So good people are everywhere. Bad people are everywhere. It's about finding them, figuring out who we can trust and not trust, and going from there. And honestly, just hold out as long as you can. Just hold out in your situation, whether it's financial, medical, whatever you can do. Just try to stay on the red pill side, because that's the good side to be on. I was almost black-pilled. And there was a point where I didn't make too many videos, and I was very stressed out at work, and I had all the homeschooling to do as well. And I was like, this is really not good situation. And I was watching the world, Canada specifically, degrade more and more. And I almost went there. But you know what, guys? I got myself together, gave myself a few, I hit my face a couple of times, and I decided, snap out of it, girl, because we are not going there. So don't get into the black pill phase, because it's very hard to get out of, and it's non-productive. Once you're black pilled, you've essentially given up, in my opinion. Black pilled people have given up. So we just need to, and you know what? Red pill is good enough. It's good enough, because you don't need that many people. We do not need that many people to be red pilled to make a difference. We only need a few of us, and we only need a few of us to start speaking out and doing different things in our daily lives that can fight this. And I think we have a chance. I can't guarantee it. I don't know, but we do have a chance if we just keep the fight going, and just any of these tyrannical tactics that you're seeing, whatever the front they're hitting you on, just fight back in whatever capacity you can. And I think we can overcome this. If we may not, but our kids will, right? So that's my opinion. Of course, I'm not telling anybody what to do. Just like I don't give any medical advice, okay, YouTube? I don't give any medical advice. I just need everybody to realize that there are lots of people like us. The people just don't say it. And we're only hearing now from the people who are double jabbed because they're super proud and they've been brainwashed and they think, okay, I've done my part. That's part of the propaganda, is do your part, get vaccinated. Do your part, identify the Jewish people. Oh, sorry, I meant the unvaccinated people. Do your part. Like that's part of the whole thing, right? And notice, guys, I've managed to do a whole stream without talking too much about the Jewish people. Darn it, where's our troll when we need him? I wish he was here now. But yes, so it's gonna get better eventually. I think we just have to go through a bit of hard times right now. If you're mentally prepared, if you know it's coming and you're ready, you're in far better shape than the people who are pretending nothing's wrong right now. The people who are completely aloof to the whole situation, not gonna worry about it. The government's gonna do what the government does, roll up the sleeve. It's all good, It's so funny, like the government should roll up the rim from Tim Hortons and literally do a whole campaign on roll up your sleeve. I can't believe they haven't done that, to be quite honest. That's going to be the next one. So yeah, thanks. I have the cooties. So yeah, it's oh, Trent, you're here as well. Hello, Trent. Yes, unvaselined. I'm unvaselined. And I'm fighting desperately for my kids right now so that they do not get vaselined as well, because that is going to be my September battle. When kids go back to school, I'm going to have to gear up, because that is going to be my new frontier to fight on, is going to be trying to protect my kids from this. Okay, Viking Explorer, hello. Yeah, East Coast, you're black-pilled, aren't you? Well, at least you can still laugh through your black-pilledness. So, okay. So the newest propaganda. Everybody who got the vaccine wanted it. Reverse that. Everybody who wanted the vaccine, they got it by now. So the shifting has gone to the people who are not vaccinated. I'm going to show you what that looks like. And this is my prediction for where it's going to go. I'm going to show you right after, but here, this is the new type of propaganda we're facing now. So you're going to see a lot of this. It's going to be people who should have taken the jab. So I don't know. Some people say these are hired actors. I could believe that. I don't know. I can't. Maybe this is an actual real patient that they found. They found a handful of people that are willing to speak out and say, I didn't get it. What's really strange is that a lot of these stories, these people say they were 4 months in hospital. And you see the date was from June 18th on here. That means that they declined the jab in February, roughly. But the reality is the jab wasn't available everywhere in February, and it wasn't available to everyone in February, and the second dose was definitely not available. So therefore, how can it be a regret for people if it wasn't even available within that time frame? So this is why I'm inclined to think it's propaganda. Also because I just think everything is propaganda at this point. So anyways, they found this guy. I believe this guy spoke in front of the Congress in the U.S. just to implore people to get the jab. There's another one here. There's a 24-year-old. He's been making the rounds as well. 24-year-old didn't get the jab for COVID-19. So he then had to have a double lung transplant. Same with this other guy, had to have the double lung transplant. This one here is the 24-year-old. This one is I don't know how old he is, but again, a double lung transplant. So I don't know how much I believe this, because a double lung transplant, where would both lungs come from? Like, how would a bunch of people like that be so severely affected that they need lung transplant? Like, are we going to start seeing a black market for lungs now, like a dark web lung black market where people get abducted for their lungs because other people are dying from COVID? Like, it seems very, very extreme to me. So anyways, I don't know. What do you guys think about this kind of thing? There's this guy. So you look at this guy. This is the young guy. Can I just say something about this? If I was in hospital hooked up like this guy, I would not want my picture out there at all. Like, this is not my moment of glory. This is not what I would want to be known across the world for. That's just me personally. But I just think it's a bit weird to me. It's a bit weird. And it's very dramatic, very dramatic. So of course they're pushing this. Everybody is pushing this. And this is the kind of propaganda you're seeing. There's another one here. Let me just see if this guy is the same. A 33, yes. This is a different one. 3 months in hospital. Now they are the spokespeople. So it's funny to me, not funny, haha, but funny in the sense of what, right? Why these people are all of a sudden spokespeople. It's a very strange thing to me. They all agree to be spokespeople. They're all spokespeople for this now. They're urging people to do this. This is the same guy, I think. So anyways, so that was the new frontier of the propaganda. This is where it's going. There's a lot of regret not getting a vaccine. If you want to look it up yourself, there's a lot of those articles out there. And of course, where is this going to lead now? Well, it's going to go in a few places that I don't think we want to go, but it's coming. So in Ontario, I have a few notes here. In Ontario, we know that the College of Physicians of Ontario sent letters to the doctors and nurses and said, you cannot go against doing anything that is not the narrative. That was basically the letter. You cannot advertise against the vaccine. You cannot recommend against the vaccine. You cannot recommend any other treatment. You cannot discourage anybody from wearing the mask or from the social distancing measures. You have to go by the health guidelines. You must obey. So I think the next thing that's going to happen in this, so now that they're successfully shaming, well, successfully, I think they are, because people are going to go start getting vaccinated if there's too much pressure. But I think in about a few months, maybe even a few weeks, they are going to ask doctors across Canada to send in reports of the patients that they have that are not vaccinated. Who are the names of the people who are not vaccinated? And that in their practice, who are the patients that are unvaccinated? Now, do you remember the snitch lines that we saw? And of course, that was another one of those, oh no, there's no snitch lines, but there actively were snitch lines where you could call and report your neighbors if they had more than 5 people in their home. So we saw that actively being done in Quebec. And hold on, guys. We have a special guest. It's my son back there. Another unclean entity. Where are you, sweetie? Okay, say a quick hello and then go back to playing Fortnite. Is that what you're doing, sweets?
I'm coming to get water.
Okay. You can go.
Hi.
Okay, sweetie, go get your water. They can't talk back to you. But I think, see the chat here, a bunch of people are saying hello. Okay, I'll show you after, okay? But you need to let me keep going. This is live, babes. This be live. Yeah. Okay, get yourself a water. Okay, so the snitch lines that were happening when people had more than 5 people in their home, I think they're going to have similar snitch lines for, do you know anybody in your neighborhood who didn't get the jab yet? So in Canada, in the States, they're trying to do where they're going to everybody's house and get, encourage people to get the vaccine. In Canada, I don't think we have enough people to carry that out. So I think those in Canada, it's going to be relying heavily, like in communist states. I don't think you could make any more noise if you tried. It's going to be like in communist states where they're going to rely on just citizens spying on each other. And I think that's going to be the biggest way Canada is going to approach this. We're too spread out. There's not enough people. to do the whole. There's not enough police. There's not enough military. So it's going to be more about how neighbors are going to turn on you. This is my personal prediction, my personal opinion. Not nobody else is telling me this, but so this is where I think it's going to happen. And I think, and this is going to be the last point that I wanted to talk about tonight, and then I'll just spend a little bit of time with you guys in the chat. And I saw Suzanne joined. Suzanne, I tried to make you a mod, and it didn't work, so I'm going to try right after. Okay, so the Olympics. I wanted to quickly touch on the Olympics. So the Olympics have been used in the past as propaganda tools as well. Remember, if you did, are you going, sweetie? You're all done? Okay, wave goodbye.
Bye.
Say goodbye, fine people.
Bye.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see how you guys can see because I'm gonna go watch her.
Amazing. Sounds great. Okay, bye, baby.
Bye.
Okay. So, yes, Spider-Man does do whatever a spider can. Viking Explorer, that's funny. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go back to the Nazis. You guys know I know that history so well, so it's hard for me to go to anywhere else. But the Nazis used the 1936 Olympics as a huge propaganda tool to propel the Nazi Party into a position of trust and like a solid, strong men on the international scene. So the idea was the Nazis are good people, and look at the Olympics that we've put out. So this is kind of what they did. And I think when I look at the Tokyo Olympics that are happening right now, I think it is a display of what your life is going to be like from now on. So it's going to be, you want to go here, you need to get tested. You want to go here, you need to have a vaccine. Even when you have the vaccine, you need to get tested when you want to enter this place. It's never going to end. And I think the Tokyo Olympics are being used as the testing grounds, because why else would you have an Olympics? Why else? It's absolutely mind-boggling that they have been complaining about variants, complaining about how deadly this COVID is. And yet, instead of just saying, you know what, we're not going to do the Olympics, this is too tragic, we can't do it, we're going to skip the Olympics, they still go ahead and do the Olympics. And why would they do it? It has to have an agenda. It's not just about the Olympics anymore. It has to have something. So this is what I think it is. I think they're using it to, first of all, test how it's going to fine tune how they're going to manage people from all over the world in a microcosm, like a small place all at once, and use that as the blueprint for how it's going to happen on the outside world for the rest of the world after the Olympics. So there's no doubt in my mind that they're actually doing tests. They're using this to fine tune all their propaganda elements, all of the future plans that they have, how they're going to manage people, how their facial technology thing is going to work. All of that stuff is going to be used, is going to be tested at the Olympics. Of course it's going to be. This is my opinion anyways. So, yeah, very, oh, it's so depressing. I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, we just have to stay strong through this. I look depressed right now, but okay. I feel so much better coming on here and talking with you guys and seeing you guys put comments in here, because it really does help me feel normal. And it's hard. I'm if you want, I'm like vaccinated against propaganda. Like I'm propaganda immunized. so I resist the propaganda very easily. But even for me, it's hard. So this is why I don't blame people who are brainwashed, because they're brainwashed. What can you do? They're brainwashed. So to me, it makes me really, it brings me a lot of peace to know that, like, right now we have 88 people in here, and that a lot of you, think similarly, it's very, very helpful. And I hope these streams help you guys too. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. I have, what's it called? Like the self-narcissistic, the self-grandiose thing. But anyways, yeah, so that's about it for me, guys, tonight. I will be back again next week, and we'll talk about some more of this propaganda. I'll show you the newest fashion line of propaganda from next week. We'll review that together. Philip, you're here. Hello, Philip. I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't know. I haven't seen you in a while, Philip, in this stream. So glad you're here. Okay, Crownland. Hold on. What is? I just want to see this. Alex Jones, Julia. If you need a place in the country, get a prospector license and stake claim on Crownland. That's a good plan. I like that. I will definitely look into that, because we are preparing. In my family, we are preparing. We have a network of a handful of neighbors that I know I can trust. We have a network. We've been planning. We've been talking. We've been meeting. So I'm going to hope that you guys do the same, because if we all go off grid for some reason, because sometimes the government will do that to us too, we need to have a local support. So hopefully you guys have that. Okay, well, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to stay on here for a little bit just to try to figure out how to add Suzanne. Suzanne, you were on the list. You wanted to be a moderator, right? I have your name here. Yeah, I'm going to see. I have to go onto YouTube, and it caused like echo last time. So I'm going to try to do that right now just to see if I can. I might have to mute myself, but you guys are more than welcome to hang out with me while I do that and chat in the comments while I go into and try to do this here, just when I can show you what I'm trying to do. Oh, okay. I think if I don't play anything, I should be good. Try to go to YouTube Studio for this. Hopefully nobody's going to join right now, because because they're going to walk into like the weirdest stream in the world. Oh gosh. I'm just trying to add Suzanne as a moderator, okay? I looked how to do this before, so I should be okay. I just have to go and find how to do it here. Here, community. I added Faye. Let me show you guys what I'm doing, just so you see what I'm not completely lost in my mind. Whoops. Here. See, I'm trying to add Suzanne here. I can't, it's not popping up. This is why I couldn't find you last time. My husband thought maybe if you do it while you're still live streaming, you should be able to find her and add her in there, but I might have to try and pick you out from the chat. But to do that, I have to go on my own stream, and that's when the double echo is gonna start. It's gonna be pretty terrible, but anyways, I will try to do this right after. Oh, Monique, you're asking about my garden. Okay, I'll entertain you. For anybody who wants to hang out. This is not about the propaganda anymore. But my garden is doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I do believe that some of my soil is lacking in potassium. So I've actually I had a chat with my neighbor today, and we all of us have big gardens, and so we all exchange vegetables throughout the summer. It's kind of cool. But I was having a chat with her, and she was saying that she thinks the potassium is the reason, because my leaves, so I have zucchinis, and I'm not even joking, the zucchini leaves are big like this. So I planted this small zucchini thing. Each leaf is big like this. It took over almost half of that little compound it's in, and it kicked out everybody else that was there. All the other veggies, it's like, dude, we're taking over. This is my time now. And so that's what the plant was doing. But yet the zucchinis that are on there are super small. They're like teeny. So I'm like, that's kind of disproportionate. So I was complaining to my neighbor about that. She's like, oh, Julie, you probably are lacking potassium in your garden. So anyways, we ordered these soil test kits, because I don't want to just like throw potassium if that's not even the problem. And we're going to test our soil. I've never done that. So it's going to be a nice little experiment on my end. So There's a Oh, Snowmatic, that was a great one. Made me laugh. Thank you. So there's a jab for that. Now, the question is, do I have to take the jab and will the government force it on me if my soil is low? Will I have to do that? So anyways, and yes, Binks, the zucchini is my new overlord. It literally kicked out I had like onions. I had a couple, like a tomato plant next to it. I had a couple of things there, asparagus. And that guy's like, he's like, no, yo, this is my posse now. Literally took over everything. And you know how those leaves are huge and overshadows everything? Nothing could grow under there that needed the sun. So I lost all these other vegetables. So I was kind of like avenging the other vegetables by chopping off the big leaves. Some of them, I left some leaves, but I chopped off about half the leaves from the mega zucchini overlord. And now I think some of the stuff is coming back, but man, all those leaves for nothing. I was like, this is ridiculous. Not only nothing, but it murderized my other vegetables. Some of them anyways. So, so yes, I will do more updates on that. I should show you pictures next. Okay, I'll do this next time. I will show you pictures of the garden. I'll have that ready for the next stream and we can go through that. But anyways, okay, that's it. That's it for me, guys. Suzanne, I will persevere in making you a mod. I want you as a mod, my dear Suzanne. So hang in there with me. I will try to find you in the chat and click on there from there. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.